All right, so we have three somewhat recent pieces of news in the, let's call it, sexual oddity category.
Okay.
So we have the reemergence of John Wayne Bobbitt being interviewed for a docuseries. What do you remember about the John Wayne Bobbitt saga?
Oh boy. Well, first of all, John Wayne, like that's his name. Anyway,
Pony Soldier.
Pony Soldier, obviously. So, I remember. Well, first of all, I was a little teenager. Like, what was it? 25 years ago. So I was, 12 or something. And I remember watching it on TV in the living room of my parents' farmhouse. My surroundings are very 90s, obviously. Okay. I see really tacky sofas and gray carpeting, but whatever. Today, as a man, I'm mortified by the whole subject matter. Like, I cringe and I like dying inside to imagine that happening. But when I was a younger boy, I didn't realize the gravity of it, and I just made fun of it. And I remember being in school and everyone being like, "Bobbitt, you're a Bobbitt, John Bobbitt." It was just like a thing. It was like a total joke. It's amazing that he's back in the news. I think we should stop talking about it. Like, why are we talking about the penis being cut off? It was put back on. Thank you. Good. He did some porn. We did some research the other night and saw it. And
it was operational.
It was totally operational. It had a little to it, you know what I mean? But
yeah, you could see where there was a little.
You could see the
trauma.
You could see the crime, and it was really traumatizing for me. So I really think we should just move on to the next subject.
So the next subject is still in the same vein. According to witnesses, let's call them victims, essentially, in the ongoing meme that is Jeffrey Epstein's trial and death. One of the victims described his penis, as egg-shaped.
Could you please give us your name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
Form, vague, indefinite, and I'm going to give you the first warning, Mr. Kubin, that these types of questions are not only argumentative, but directed in a manner to embarrass Mr. Epstein. If you continue with this type of question, I will adjourn the deposition immediately.
Sir, according to the police department's probable cause affidavit, one witness described your penis as oval-shaped and claimed when erect it was thick towards the bottom but was thin and small towards the head portion, and called it egg-shaped. Those are not my words, I apologize. But as Mr.
Now adjourned.
As Mr. Critton has stated, that this is I'm willing to continue.
Well, this the feeling that came inside of me, it's kind of like a lump in my throat, like, oh God. I mean, no, I don't want to envision an egg-shaped penis. I can't imagine how traumatizing it would be for Jeffrey Epstein to have one. It does, however, color the narrative of how maybe, I don't know, that he came to be a troubled sexual predator. I'm not saying that having a deformed genitalia would ever cause that, but a man maybe who has an egocentric personality or is an egomaniac that would have an egg-shaped penis, and the circumstances of his wealth and privilege and arrogance could spell a recipe for I need to coerce young women to massage me but really actually give me a blowjob, kind of. Like, I can see that happening. I don't have a lot of sympathy for Jeffrey Epstein. However, I do have some sympathy for this subject, for the egg-shaped penis. Don't get me wrong, I like hard-boiled eggs, but maybe not anymore.
I just love the irony, the delicious irony that he may have been like a honeypot, a person that was collecting intelligence through sexual blackmail, and that he may have been blackmailed about
his egg-shaped penis.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean,
the irony.
And I find that mundane penis explanations really are at the root of a lot.
Yeah.
of things.
Like it's probably the cause for the Holocaust
Yeah,
and 9/11
Hitler probably had an egg-shaped penis.
for sure.
I mean,
All right, moving on. Harvey Weinstein was described as deformed or lacking in a penis and balls. Let me read the actual.
yeah, and then I believe that Harvey said it was a perfect description. Quote, right?
He accepted that. Yeah. So
That said it was perfect, like Donald Trump says everything's perfect.
right. Lauren Marie Young, the last of 6 women to testify in Weinstein's rape trial, opened up to the jury in Manhattan Criminal Court on Wednesday. And here the quote says, "He has no testicles. Harvey Weinstein's genitals look like they've been amputated and sewn back on."
Oh, well, okay. It's fascinating that we're back to a penis taken off, put back on kind of scenario. I mean, what? Okay. Harvey Weinstein being, I think we call this intersex, as they said in the media, which it means that I even heard that it was doesn't have a penis or a vagina. It's a little bit of both, which I know that that's actually a real. There's a percentage of the population that's born that way. It's wildly surprising that Harvey Weinstein, the serial rapist, powerful former mogul in Hollywood, was able to even put himself out there sexually in any way with that situation, and then as a man sort of force himself on people without that getting out sooner
Yeah.
is what's fascinating.